I'm not. That's for sure. Especially tonight. Oh, man.
So we can go into some more examples / definition stuff of Great Mother, so you can understand what he represents it as better.
Okay.
So he says the Great Mother is the dark, the chaos of the night, the insect, the Ophidian and reptilian worlds, the damaged body, the mask of anger or terror, the entire panoply of fear-inducing experiences commonly encountered by Homo sapiens. So the Great Mother is everything that's fear-inducing in his mind.
So, oh my word. So,
Which
I'm trying to figure out where to start to break this down.
mm-hmm.
So is the Great Mother is ultimately representing chaos. So he's basically saying chaos.
Yeah, unexplored territory.
Yes.
And that's the Great Mother. And his tie to the mother, as far as I can tell, is that the world is unknown. Well, no, that's not even a connection to the feminine thing. I think the only connection to the feminine is the idea that things are born out of chaos, just like people are born out of the female.
I don't know if it's like I'm kind of tired or if it's like my brain's in two other places at once, or if this part of the book is just...
No, I mean, if you don't agree with it, you don't agree with it.
Well, I almost feel like it's redundant. And maybe it feels redundant because a while ago we kind of were like, we dismantled what he said and we were like, this is just, it's not right. We don't agree with it.
Yeah.
So everything from here on out is just like, it's, the foundation was dismantled. So every other point after that is, well, pointless. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I mean, something I talked about with the guy that I'm going through this with is, and I think I brought it up here, is it's just, since we know that he got some stuff wrong, what can we trust him on getting right?
Yeah, and we kind of talked about that the last episode, and I don't know.
I think our focus should just be on what we can get out of it, you know? Or like what he says the lessons are, because we can take those lessons and apply them, understanding if they're good or not. Because usually they're pretty good lessons.
Oh, I think he has great lessons, but right now he's just, in my eyes, he's just rehashing what we talked about in episode like 1 and 2. Like, yeah, chaos. That's your cause of fear.
He's pretty much giving that stuff character, and he's using that as a background to kind of explain it a little bit more. So we can move on to another part. He talks about, for an entire section, monsters that are feminine, that represent creation and destruction, birth and cessation of experience, and animal and human. And the animals that he talks about here are things like the Sphinx, the Greek Sphinx, like that's a female and a lion.
The Sphinx in Egypt?
Isn't there also a Greek Sphinx? What's he called? What's she called?
I'm looking it up.
I thought they were both Sphinx. Maybe I'm incorrect.
Greek Sphinx. Oh, yes. Okay. I have seen this, and it's been a while.
Yeah, so it's just like a woman with a lion's body.
Yeah, it's not the Egyptian Sphinx at all.
No, but they're similar ideas.
They are similar ideas.
So, I don't know. We can spend some time talking about it. I just think that it's the same thing where I don't know if we accept the premise of the chaos being feminine.
Yeah, I understand. I don't understand wanting to personify chaos.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, the point is that it can be more understandable. You can grasp it more in the form of metaphor.
But if the metaphor fails to deliver the heart of chaos.
Well, he's saying that it does.
Fails.
No, he's saying that it does show what chaos is
But it doesn't.
as best as possible.
Nope.
So, well, and I think he does have some point here that works, because you can see chaos at the same time as something that's bad and it's scary, which is this great mother that's like the monster and all these things. And at the same time, you can see chaos as the other aspect of he talks about for the great mother, which is like the nurturing thing that can provide for you.
So why does the thing that nurture and provide, why is that also chaos?
Because, I mean, think about it. If you go into the unknown and you're doing something, a bad thing could come out of it, or a good thing could come out of it.
I guess, but I mean, in my eyes, like, the provider is known. Does that make sense? Like, the provider of the house, the father, is known by he who he provides for.
I think, though, the point is, if you recognize the unknown as like a thing, that is where all of the stuff for us is. Like, the resources are out in the unknown, and it's the process of exploring the unknown.
But my point is that the provider themselves is known. The provider goes into the unknown to get resources to create what is provided. But the provider themselves is known. Like, the father is known by the mother and the children, right? We as Christians, when we look to God as our provider, we know God. What he takes from chaos, the unknown, and gives to us is what is provided to us. But those gifts, those things that we need or want, even from like a father to a child, the provider is known. And is giving things, generally speaking, what is known. I mean, you can argue about gifts, like the unknown of a gift, but like, you know it's a gift. You know it's a good thing that's going to make you happy. You know the provider gives you food. The provider fills your heart and soul.
Right. It would be probably really hard to do it, but off the top of your head, do you have any alternate understandings of things like the Sphinx or Tiamat or these feminine chaotic beings?
What do you mean by alternate understandings?
Instead of like the Great Mother, as he's talking about it, as this thing that can be chaos. And
what do I think could be?
Yeah, do you have any like alternative options for what they could be? Because I can't think of a better one. I don't think it's right, but that's kind of where I'm like, maybe he's reading into it. Is because I don't know if you can get this much out of it.
I mean,
and I think you can also make the connections that he's making, but ultimately you're never going to know.
Right. Well,
because you couldn't go and ask these people what they thought of it.
I guess in my eyes, it's a little bit reverse. Women aren't a good representation of chaos so much as chaos is represented within women through these mythologies. Does that make sense? Like, it doesn't inherently mean that chaos or that women are a great representation of chaos.
Yeah.
But that chaos is represented within women. But at the very same time,
I think that's kind of his point.
We'll look at Norse mythology, because that idea also crumbles. Because Loki is chaos. And there's hell and stuff. If you're thinking about Marvel's Norse mythology, you're already on the wrong step. Marvel's Norse mythology is nothing like true, like,
what's
Viking mythology.
Yeah, so, I mean, the creation of the world and that, isn't it a mirror dying? And like they use the mirror's body as the world?
Yeah. Well, kinda, sorta. Kinda.
Oh,
it's
okay.
But it is
a
I don't
mirror,
remember enough to tell you, but what I do know is that there's I can't remember all the proper words and stuff, but basically there's the plane of fire, and there's the plane of ice, and then there's the nothing in between, and the fire and ice kept growing closer together, and the fire melted the ice.
I was right.
Okay.
The world, Middle Earth or Midgard, is made of the body of Ymir.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant all of like Norse mythology, like
just Midgard.
Okay, just Midgard. Yeah, I don't remember that, just to be completely honest. But What I do know is that Loki, Odin's adopted son, is pretty much unrelenting chaos in Norse mythology. Which, there you go, boom, diminished. So if you're going to look at all of mythologies, you're already... It doesn't work in Christianity, but we've kind of dismissed that. So to bring up a different point, let's look at Norse mythology.
I'm wondering...
Dismissed.
I'd be curious to ask him why he doesn't bring up Norse mythology.
Because it doesn't work.
I'm wondering if it's that, or if he's looking at these really older ones. Because we don't know how old Norse mythology is.
Look it up. How old is Norse mythology?
Okay, good idea.
I know. I'm full of great ideas, such as using Google. I'm cold.
This says most stories are dated from 1000 AD, but the core of the myth can be traced back to the 5th century AD or even longer. So they're basically not sure. But that's not as old as any of the other ones he's talking about. So I'm wondering if that's part of the reason.
Sure.
Is he doesn't consider it to be old enough to be worth talking about.
I guess.
Or as potentially foundational as these other ideas. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know.
Well,
I think
unless we talk to Jordan Peterson himself.
Right. That'll happen. Hey, we've been trashing on your book a little bit. Can we talk about it?
Actually...
I mean, I want to know what he thinks about it now.
Well, as far as I'm aware, because I listened to Daily Wire's town hall meeting, Jordan Peterson's Christian. Like, actually now.
That's crazy.
I know. I was blown away. I thought that was epic.
I wonder how much of this he would disagree with now.
Yeah, I see, and that's all I thought about today. I was like, well, if Jordan Peterson's like actually Christian, what does he think of his own book?
Yeah.
But yeah. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and leave them down below. And if you liked the video, give us a like. If you really liked it, you could even go subscribe to our channel. And if you didn't understand the video, don't worry, I didn't either. There's a link to the full video down in the description below. Thanks for watching.